Hey, guess what's happening in Hawaii, Michigan, New York, and Vermont? The U.S. Department of Justice, or DOJ, just started some super interesting lawsuits against these 4 states. This happened between 30th of April and 1st May, 2025, because these states are trying to make rules about climate change that the DOJ thinks are against the country's big laws. It's like a giant tug-of-war over who gets to decide how to protect our planet. The DOJ says these state plans could mess up how we get energy, like gas for cars or electricity for your Xbox. Welcome to Enviro News Radio. Today, let's dive into this interesting news story. In Hawaii, the state wants to sue big oil companies because they think those companies helped cause wildfires like the super scary ones in Maui in 2023. Hawaii's leaders said, "Hey, you oil companies need to help fix this." But the DOJ jumped in and said, "Whoa, Hawaii, you can't do that. Only the big national rules, like the Clean Air Act, can decide stuff about pollution." That Clean Air Act is like a rule book that says the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, is the boss of keeping our air clean. Hawaii's not backing down, though. They're ready to fight in court to make those companies pay for the damage. Over in Michigan, the state's top lawyer, Donna Nessel, is getting ready to sue oil companies too, because she thinks they've hurt the environment. She's hired some fancy lawyers to help, but the DOJ said, "Hold on, Michigan, you're stepping on the EPA's toes, and that could make energy more expensive for everyone." Michigan's like, "No way, we're still going for it." It's like Michigan is planning a big courtroom adventure, and the DOJ wants to stop them before they even start. Then there's New York, where they made a rule called the Climate Change Superfund Act. It's like a superhero plan to make oil companies pay $75 billion to fix things like floods or super hot weather caused by climate change. Cool, right? But the DOJ says, nope, New York. That rule breaks the big national laws and could make it harder for companies to sell gas or oil. New York's leaders are standing tall, saying, "We're not giving up. Those companies need to help clean up the mess they made." Vermont's got a similar plan called their own Climate Superfund Act, where they want oil companies to pay for climate problems like fixing roads after storms. The DOJ's not happy about this either and says, "Vermont, you can't make rules about pollution that affect the whole world. That's our job." Vermont's ready to defend their plan in court, like knights protecting their castle. So, why is this such a big deal? The DOJ says these states are breaking rules by trying to control pollution in ways only the federal government can. They're worried it could make things like gas or electricity cost more. But the states say we need to protect our planet, and these companies should help. Some people, like lawyers who study climate stuff, think the DOJ is trying to protect oil companies, while others think the states are reaching too far. It's like a huge puzzle, and the courts will decide who's right. What could happen next? Well, the courts might say the DOJ is right, and the states have to stop their plans, meaning no lawsuits or big fines for oil companies, and the federal government stays in charge of pollution rules. Or the courts could side with the states, letting Hawaii and Michigan sue those companies and allowing New York and Vermont to keep their Superfund plans. That would be a big win for making oil companies pay for climate fixes like saving beaches or building stronger bridges. Another possibility is a middle ground. Maybe the courts say the states can do some things but not others, like suing for local damages but not global pollution. This fight could also spark new laws or deals, like if the states and oil companies agree to work together on climate projects instead of fighting in court. It might even inspire other states to try similar plans or push the government to make stronger climate rules for everyone. Whatever happens, this battle will help decide how we tackle climate change and who pays to keep our planet healthy. That's it for today. Hey, see you in another video. Till then, bye.